welcome to Tech Total Access. I'm your host, Alexis Craighead. Let's get things started with what the football team has been up to this week. After a bye week, the team took on Pitt for the Hokies' first taste of Thursday night football. Of course, TTA is filmed on Wednesdays, and so we don't know what happened in that game, but VTTV's Noelle Lane was at practice before the game to get the inside scoop.
I'm Noelle Lane here at football practice, where the Hokies are preparing to take on their next opponent this Thursday. Players and coaches had a lot to say after practice.
Not really, I think I've said it here before. We've talked this week, when you get to be a good football team and have a chance to win championships is when it really doesn't make any difference what day it is, what time it is, what team it is. Virginia Tech plays consistent their way. And, I think that's been true over the years. You can, not be an up and down football team. You got a chance to, and you got good enough players, you got a chance to, win championships. So I think it's going, I think the crowd up there this year, the coaches reminded me back last year when they opened up, I guess, with Florida State, and that place was full and excited and so forth, and I expect the same thing Thursday night. So, it's an exciting atmosphere. That's, you like being in games like that. And hopefully our team, will know exactly how tough a football game this is getting ready to be.
Yeah, I think there might have been, a little bit of a learning curve, but I think at this point that's over with, and I feel like a veteran guy now. Been through a lot, both at Texas Tech and then now here. Started the first 6 games, so there's really no excuses or anything like that from this point forward. I don't think it'll change much. I don't think you'll see much of a change. Unfortunate for Shy, Marshawn, and Trey at this point. They were all getting to a point where they were playing at a very high level before they got hurt. But JC and Joel both came in and played well, and they didn't have a whole lot of practice time with the game plan the previous week. So to see how well they were able to just come in and adjust on the fly was encouraging. And they've had a good week of practice, and you'll see a lot of them, and I think they'll play well.
It's really like pain, just knowing if I'm gonna be able to make that cut or not, and just making sure I can help my team and not hurt us.
No, not really, to be honest. I think, Ohio State, we went in there and we were so focused on being perfect because it was going to be so loud and, getting it on and off the field, and that directly translates to once you snap the ball, everything, you're worried about every single detail. And I think UNC, we had a new, just a feeling of desperation almost to win that game and pretty much to win every game from here on out. So just happens to be. Also, I really like playing on the road. I love playing at home, in front of our fans and everything, but it's a lot of fun to go in and silence, a crowd and stuff like that. So maybe we have that kind of team, and if we do, that's awesome. Yeah, I watched that.
Happy with the outcome?
Yeah, absolutely. It's rooting for Duke pretty hard. It's nice to know, we always had the every game we have to win. So you always got to say that you can't really watch anyone else. But now that, we do pretty much control our own destiny, with assuming some ties happen and maybe Georgia Tech drops another game, it's good to know that it's all right there in front of us and we don't have to rely on anyone.
I'm going to start with playing at home. I felt like we played to our opponents at home, and I guess we seem a little complacent and very comfortable, and it kind of affects us during the game. And when we travel, I feel like the energy, steps up a lot, and we play a lot more aggressive, and just the team comes together, being at other people's stadium and just relying on each other. I think that's what. Yeah, I did watch it. It was an interesting game, and but Duke pulled it off. They did very well, a very good job stopping the run game, and yeah, they played well as a whole unit. Honestly, we're not really focused on nobody else. We just focused on it right now, and that's us. And we want to accomplish our goal, which is to win the ACC, and whoever gets in the way, we want to defeat them. And that's really what we're focusing on.
And, you know, get the W in general. You know, that should be exciting by itself. Every game from here on out is a championship game. So, and that's the way we have to approach it. So, you know, like I said before, just getting the W is what's before it.
Well, I mean, you can't leave a guy on an island entirely for a game. We do trust Kendall that he'll do a great job, and it gives you comfort as a defensive back coach. I can't say that, to know that you got a guy who you feel can match up.
Now in college football, you know, you got to take every receiver like that. You know, anybody can make plays. Everybody on scholarship. So, you know, any receiver we go against, you know, we're treating them as if they're the best receiver in the country.
You got it, Thursday?
You know, I think Luther could play. It's just, you know, what percentage is he? Once you play, at this point right here, I mean, we're playing. So it's going to be a combination of what, you know, Luther's going to weigh in a lot on this, you know, and see. But he moved around good out there today. I mean, he's running good. So I think he could play. It's just a matter of how productive is he, how close to full speed is he, and then, you know, once we do, there's no going back.
But I mean, we won't have a lot of experience on the defensive line. You know, it's me, and I'm basically the only one that played last two weeks against Georgia Tech. So I know these Tigers didn't have a lot of experience. So I thought me, you know, even if I'm not full speed, I could provide some help for my team, you know, help them get that win. And I know I guess I didn't do enough because we didn't get the win, obviously. But I feel like, you know, just because we have a lot of experience at defensive tackle, I feel like I could have helped our team, so I just thought I might as well go ahead and play. I didn't want to be selfish. I know I had an NFL career, but I'm not thinking that far right now. I'm just thinking of the present day, so I thought it would be best that I play against Georgia Tech. I mean, I feel like I'm making steps, so I can't really tell you now if I'll be full strength or not, but I feel like I'm feeling better than yesterday, but then the day before that. So, you know, as long as I just keep going day by day, I think I keep on getting better. So I think I'll be at full strength hopefully soon. I don't know yet, but we'll see how much my body can take.
You guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
What you've heard from the team, let's hear what our football experts have to say about this week. Ricky and Rachel, what you got?
Thanks, Alexis. So as Alexis sort of explained, we film on Wednesdays, which means we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in the Pitt game, even though this is going to come out on Friday. But because we film on Wednesdays and it comes out on Fridays, we have to go ahead and talk about the Miami game so that you guys get a preview before the game actually happens. So, we're not really going to talk about the last game because we don't know what happened, but Miami, Ricky, what you got?
Well, first of all, Miami is full of offense. They've got a lot of weapons on the offensive end. They've got a true freshman quarterback in Brad Kaya, who's got 16 touchdowns already this year and just 9 picks. He's been pretty good for them so far, not to mention Duke Johnson, one of the most electrifying backs in the nation, really. He's got 787 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. And they've got 2 really good wide receivers in Philip Dorsett and Clive Walford. both of those guys are pretty good.
I'm definitely excited to see Duke Johnson. We didn't get to see him last year, so we'll see if we can contain him. Hopefully.
Yeah, he's actually Miami's career all-purpose leader in yards. He's been very good for them. He has had some injury issues, but just to go through all those injury problems and still be the all-purpose yards leader, the kid's good.
Well, first and foremost, it's Thursday night in Lane Stadium. I'm just excited to be at the game, but it'll be interesting to see how we play, especially coming off of the last Thursday night game.
Yeah, Thursday night games in Blacksburg always carry a certain kind of atmosphere. You know, it's historically it's been a good night for the Hokies. They usually do well on Thursday nights, and it'll be interesting to see how they're going to perform against the Miami team, who has been a little shaky this year.
I don't know if you were here yet, Ricky, but I still remember my first Thursday night game when we beat Miami in the last couple of seconds.
Yeah, I was not here. I got to watch that game on TV, and look, I was in my living room, and I got chills just watching it when they played Enter Sandman at the final play. That was crazy. I
think no matter what happens this week, and sort of no matter what we're looking at going into the game where we're standing in the ACC, it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, and Miami, their last game, they had a big win against Cincinnati. They won by 3 touchdowns, and they're coming off a bye week as well. So you're going to assume that they've had plenty of time to prepare for Michael Brewer and the running game, whichever running back gets the carries against Miami. But they've had a lot of time of preparation. It'll be interesting to see what Al Golden and his Hurricanes do. An interesting note is that Al Golden used to be the defensive coordinator for Virginia. So he's seen Frank Beamer and his offense several times. So it'll be interesting to kind of see if he uses his experience from then and use it in this game.
Yeah, Golden said earlier today that he's excited that we're playing on Thursday night against Pitt because they can all sit at home and watch us live and then go over the film again, of course, on Friday.
Yeah, anytime you get to watch a team nationally play, you can kind of dissect it, and it's helpful to see that live.
Well, I think, as you mentioned before, they have a true freshman quarterback. He has 9 interceptions, not quite as bad as Brewer, but that's still a lot. I think that'll be an important factor in the Miami game if we can disrupt him and maybe get some pick sixes.
Yeah, a lot of it's gonna depend on what kind of pressure they get up front with Kenny Canham and Daddy Nicholas. You probably won't have Luther Maddy for that game. We know he's out against Pittsburgh.
Yes.
But a lot of that's gonna depend. I will say this though, Kaya is a much better passer than Shane Morris or Stephen Morris was at Miami. Kaya, he's got much more touch on the ball, and he makes better decisions.
One thing, though, is he's not as mobile as a lot of quarterbacks you see from Miami. So hopefully we'll be able to get him stuck in the pocket and maybe get some sacks.
Yeah, Virginia Tech historically struggles against a lot of mobile quarterbacks, Marquise Williams in particular. Kaya is more of a pocket passer, but like I said, he can throw a dime anywhere on the field. And with those two, receivers, both of them have a combined 10 touchdowns so far this season. So it's going to be interesting to see how well the Hokie defense can kind of keep Kaya from hurting them deep.
Well, it'll definitely be a test for the secondary. Speaking of the secondary, Kendall Fuller got named mid-season All-American, so hopefully he'll be able to continue that and sort of shut down part of their passing game.
Yeah, Kendall Fuller's really been kind of a savior for the Hokies defense. He's been kind of the cornerstone so far. Losing Brandon Faison early on in the season, he wasn't really quite healthy even when he played. And then with Luther Maddy being hurt up front, Kendall Fuller's been really the one guy you can always count on, and Detrick Bonner and Kaishawn Jarrett are veterans back there in the secondary. So I'm expecting them to really turn it on late in the season.
And as you said, Brandon Faison is listed as out for next game. It's pretty much solid that he is going to be taking a medical redshirt this year.
Yeah, and that'll be good for him too because the kid's got a lot of talent. And last year we saw when he's healthy, he's one of the best corners in the nation. And if he had been healthy this year, him and Kendall Fuller would have created probably the best secondary or the best 2 cornerbacks in the nation by far.
Definitely, and he really just did not look like himself in the first couple of games, so it's good that he's sitting out. In other injury news, as you said before, Williams is declared out for the Pitt game, so we'll see if maybe he can come back and be healthy for at home at Miami.
Yeah, whenever you get a high ankle sprain like that, especially being a running back, it's kind of iffy as to when you're going to be able to return. High ankle sprains are a little bit more severe than normal ankle sprains. They usually can take up to a month to recover. So, really now it's the running game leans on Joel Caleb and J.C. Coleman, and maybe Sam Rogers. What kind of carries is he going to get as a fullback? It'll be interesting to see what he can do.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how our running game works against Pitt and then against Miami. I think it's a good thing they're keeping Williams out since our other two top running backs are injured. Like, we want to have Williams for the rest of the season. Maybe we don't have him for the next game, but I'd rather him get healthy instead of throwing him out on the field.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure he's healthy. He's been the most consistent running back, not named Shy McKenzie. Of course, McKenzie out for the year, but if you can get Williams back, he's a bruiser. He runs great through the tackles, and anytime you have a guy like that who can consistently get you 3 to 4 yards a carry minimum, that's always a nice weapon to have.
So a couple of other positive notes for the Hokies. Miami has yet to win an away game. They're 3-0 away. And away in Lane Stadium on Thursday night, that's one of the hardest venues you can play in.
Yeah, and they're second to last in the ACC Coastal right now. This isn't really something you're used to seeing from Miami. Miami historically has been a really good program. They've won a couple national titles, but they're really struggling this year. They're only 4-3 overall. And if you look at the defense, that's really been when they've been losing games. They gave up... They only give up 24 points per game, but they gave up 31 points to Louisville the first week of the season. They gave up 41 points to a Nebraska team, which at one point was ranked, but they've kind of since fallen off this year. And they gave up 28 to Georgia Tech, and those were all losses. So if the defense is able to play well and kind of keep the Hokies from lighting up the scoreboard, Miami has a good chance.
Thursday night here in Lane Stadium. So what are you guys' predictions for this game?
I'm going to go ahead and say 28-17. We've held our opponents to 17 the last couple of weeks, so that's what I see happening.
I've got Virginia Tech 37, Miami 31. I think Brad Kaya is going to have his way for the Virginia Tech secondary, but I think the Hokies are going to be able to run the ball, and I have confidence in Michael Brewer.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Homemade noodles. Marty, stop it. That reminds me, maybe we should try a new form of birth control.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
What do you think, though?
The volleyball team took on rival Virginia at home on Sunday. VTTV was at the game.
The Hokies fell short, going 3-2 against the Cavaliers. Tech started off the first two sets dominant, winning 25-12, 25-17. But in the third set, UVA surged back to win 25-22. The Hoos then won the fourth, 25-18, to force a fifth set. The Hokies could not come through in the end and lost the fifth set 18-16. Lindsay Owens led the Hokies with 11 kills and 11 digs, while Catherine Kane was also impressive with 16 kills. We got to talk to head coach Chris Riley after the game.
I thought we played hard. I thought we were fairly good offensively. We out-hit them, out-dug them, out-blocked them, and still wound up losing. So I think we have a lot to work on, but we played okay tonight. UVA changed and made some better plays, but it was the same game. We just didn't execute when we were supposed to. We had opportunities, but our serve receive broke down, and we got to be better than that if we're going to win. We just got to be more consistent. We got to be mentally tougher. That's going to be an important part for this team going forward. We can play with anybody, but we've got to be mentally stronger playing going forward.
Lots of Tech sports were away this week. Let's take a look at how the rest of the Hokie teams are doing. The number 9 women's soccer team suffered a tough 2-1 loss at number 2 Florida State on Sunday. The men's soccer team lost 5-0 to number 17 North Carolina on Friday, while the men's golf team finished 4th at the Bank of Tennessee Intercollegiate.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong.
Today, I'm just an aluminum can. But one day, I could be a stadium.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
It's hard to believe it, but basketball season is almost upon us. The men's basketball team held Media Day this week. Rachel was there to give you an update on Buzz Williams and to help you get to know all the new players the team has this season.
Our first official practice was Friday morning, and we had three days off prior to Monday, and obviously we're off today. So guys have been as good as I've been around in regards to their cohesiveness, in regards to their willingness to be coached, in regards to how hard they're working. Been a lot of fun. Got a lot better in the 3 days we were gone, trying to figure out what's the best way for us to play. And I think we're catching on to a few things, which is good. But other than our youth, there's nothing to complain about, and I'm not so sure that our youth won't end up being an asset as time goes. Very transparent with our kids. You know, I haven't, up until Friday morning, I hadn't coached them in a practice. And as I told them, a lot of schools start practice way before we do. That's just my philosophy on when to start and why to start. Man, they've been really good. And I told them when we started the offensive stuff we were doing, I think this is going to be the best way for us to play. And I've studied it for a long time. I didn't study it in April or May, but since June I've been studying it. And obviously with each passing day, you know, I get a little better feel for maybe what their best skill set is. And we're not big, so it's not like we're going to be a smash mouth team. And so we've got to figure out what gives each of those guys the best opportunity to play within what they can do best and mesh all of that together. And that needs to be how we play. And I told them that I think this is right, but if at some point in time I tell you we're going in a different direction, it's not because you can't play, it's just because I don't think it's best for our group. And how we started on Friday, they were trying to do right and it looked like a circus. And by yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock, it kind of looked like we knew what we were doing. And they were really enjoying it. I was too, to be honest with you. And so hopefully over the next week or so we can continue to fine tune it. But just to simplify all of that, we need to play with space offensively, and we need to really shrink the floor defensively. We're not very big, so defensively we got to keep the ball out of the paint, and then offensively we've got to play with such space that teams have a hard time covering all of that space and use our lack of size to our advantage. We can't just sit around and say, well, we're not big enough. Everybody knows that. And so we need to turn that to a strength instead of it being a liability.
I love him. I'm excited. The whole team. And he just brings, like, you know, of course, that's why he got the nickname Buzz. He just brings, like, a lot of energy. Everybody's just excited to get started, man.
I love him so far. He has great energy. He knows what he's talking about. He's a great basketball coach. And even better, he's a great human being, which is something you really look for in a coach. So every day in practice, you just see his energy and that he's really wanting us to get better.
I think he just holds us like 100% accountable every single day. And I think that's what he prides himself on, and working hard, like working harder than anyone else in the country. So those two things, just holding us accountable and working harder than anyone else, is what he really prides himself on.
I think everybody's adjusted pretty well to him. I like a lot that he expects the most from everybody every day, and he won't be pleased with any less than it. So he really gets the most out of us every practice. And I don't know if there's that much that I could say that I dislike about him, so it's been a really good and really positive change and difference for us.
Oh, I like it a lot. I like Blacksburg a lot. I like the fan base. I like the football games. I like my teammates. I just like the basketball situation here. I feel like it's perfect for me and my teammates to succeed. And I feel like Buzz is a great coach. He uplifts all of us and comes down on all of us to do the right thing so we can get better. And he knows what the formula to winning is. So
it's really different. You know, College Park was more like the city, and it's a lot of more country here and a lot of mountains, and it makes you more focused on your sport, and there's nothing to do but play basketball and go to football games. So. Favorite part is probably my teammates. I mean, I like my teammates at Maryland, but we just get along so well, and it's just great. Least favorite part is, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I would say that they don't got a Jerry Subs and Pizzas here, and I used to love Jerry Subs and Pizzas in there.
Virginia Tech is an amazing place. The food, then the weather. I love the weather. When I first got here, the workouts was pretty tough, but I knew it was going to keep getting tougher and tougher. But coming out of high school, I didn't think college basketball practice was going to be as tough as it is now. I thought I would make a perfect transition, but as a freshman, I think we all make bumps, and you know I have hit some of those bumps early. So now just trying to gear down and get to work and work as hard as I can and make my transition a little bit better.
I love Virginia Tech. The chemistry is great. That's why I think why boot camp was so great. We kind of had to come together because the work was so hard that we all had to come together as one to get it done as a team. So I think we really came together then and we started to mesh. And after that, we've been closer than we ever have before.
I love it. I just love how close everybody is and the students and athletically everybody's together, just rooting for us really. The food, yes, the food, yeah. I didn't know what to expect because right now for college, the intensity level is real high and just always go hard because in college, sometimes you can just walk through stuff, but now you can't.
Just the atmosphere around here, like everybody's real friendly and it's real exciting being here. I think we've meshed pretty well. Like all of us are a real close knit, like our team, so I think we've adjusted well.
Yeah, I can't wait. It was a long year. It was a tough year sitting on the bench, watching the game you love to play, and the game I came over here to play. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm anxious. I just can't wait to play.
That's all we have for you on this edition of Tech Total Access. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and don't forget to tune in next week for more hard-hitting sports action. And as always,
Go Hokies!